Imagine your life as a flowing river. The water carries both gentle ripples and turbulent waves. But have you ever realized that it's your reaction to these waves that determines whether you experience inner peace or chaos? Reacting is instinctive, but not reacting. That's where true strength lies. In this video, we'll explore the power of a simple skill that has the potential to completely transform your life. When you stop letting emotions overwhelm you and refuse to let your mind be controlled by external events, you'll not only find peace, but also gain control over every aspect of your life. But how do we practice this in a world filled with conflicts and temptations? Let's dive deep into uncovering the secret to staying calm, even in the most stressful situations. You'll learn how to master your mind, eliminate negative thoughts, and unleash the energy needed to become a stronger, freer version of yourself. So, before we continue with the video and explore this interesting topic further, don't forget to like, subscribe to the Top Hidden Knowledge channel to stay updated on everything related to personal and spiritual growth. This helps us bring more content that can make a difference for you. The only spiritual life you need is the ability to not react. This simple yet profound practice is rooted in calmness, the greatest inheritance of humanity and the most powerful tool at your disposal. When you learn to stay calm, you unlock the key to solving all of life's challenges. This is a truth worth remembering. In perfect calmness, the noise of karma, the mirage of illusions, and the weight of burdens all fade away. Calmness nullifies everything unnecessary. When you remain calm and unattached to any situation or its outcome, even the uncertainties of tomorrow lose their power over you. Everything becomes manageable, and the need for worry disappears. At the heart of a spiritual life is the discipline of avoiding reactions. Most of us go through life attempting to change people, events, and circumstances. This constant effort only leads to frustration and further entanglement in external chaos. Instead, try not reacting to anything at all. It may sound impossible, but this practice is both achievable and transformative. By anchoring yourself in the present moment, you free yourself from the chains of the past and the fears of the future. The present is where life happens, where everything exists exactly as it should. Rather than searching for answers in distant places or external sources, turn inward. Stop chasing external validation or overanalyzing your thoughts. Be a witness to your life, a silent observer. This detachment doesn't mean indifference. It means cultivating a deep inner stillness that allows you to respond rather than react. A calm and tranquil mind is like a still lake. It reflects the truth and beauty of its surroundings with clarity. In contrast, a turbulent mind, much like a stormy lake, distorts everything and blinds you to reality. To achieve this state of stillness, quiet your mind. This doesn't mean silencing your thoughts entirely, but rather allowing them to flow freely without attaching yourself to them. Thoughts will arise and pass. Let them. Don't hold on to them, try to control them, or assign them undue significance. The same applies to emotions. Anger, fear, doubt, or anxiety may surface, but they only have power over you if you let them. Observe these emotions as they come, without judgment or resistance. Simply let them move through you. This practice, though simple in theory, requires patience and perseverance. Do nothing. Do not react, do not resist, and do not attempt to control. When you stop reacting, you begin to see the mind for what it truly is, the source of all turbulence. It is the mind that grows angry, stubborn, or anxious. It is the mind that feels hurt or seeks control. But when you master your mind, where is the anger? Where is the sadness, the doubt, or the frustration? They cease to exist because their existence depends entirely on your reaction to them. Mastery of the mind is mastery of life. Non-reaction is not a sign of weakness, it is the ultimate strength. When you refuse to react, you preserve your energy and your clarity. You are no longer at the mercy of external events or other people's words. Imagine someone speaking harshly to you. Instead of reacting with anger or defensiveness, you remain still, observing their words without attachment. In that moment, you maintain your power, and the situation cannot affect your inner peace. What once might have drained you now becomes an opportunity to grow stronger. The power of non-reaction lies in its ability to shift your energy. Every time you react, you give away your power to the external world. By choosing not to react, you reclaim that power, redirecting it toward inner growth and peace. The practice of non-reaction doesn't mean suppressing or avoiding emotions. It means transcending them. You rise above the storm, seeing it for what it is, a temporary disturbance that will pass. This discipline requires presence, patience, and practice. Begin by observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment. When you notice yourself starting to react, pause. Take a deep breath and allow that pause to create space between the stimulus and your response. This space is where your freedom lies. It's where you choose calmness over chaos and clarity over confusion. As you cultivate this skill, you'll notice profound changes in your life. Problems that once seemed insurmountable will appear manageable. The weight of anger, fear, and doubt will lift, leaving behind a lightness and peace you may have never experienced before. This is the power of non-reaction, the ability to remain unshaken no matter what life throws your way. Ultimately, the greatest spiritual realization comes not from adding more to your life, but from letting go of what no longer serves you. By embracing calmness and refusing to react, you discover the essence of who you truly are, boundless awareness, free from the turbulence of the mind. This is where true peace resides. The enlightened state is one of eternal peace. Peace is not something external or conditional. It is the very essence of consciousness itself. Consciousness is inherently peaceful, inherently joyful, and exists independent of any circumstances. It is the mind that imposes conditions, creating illusions of struggle, conflict, and dissatisfaction. Every time you try to alter conditions or change situations, you are engaging with the ego. This act of engagement only inflates the ego further, creating more problems and deeper entanglements. Instead of trying to change the external world, focus inward. Learn to quiet the mind, to make it passive and serene, and you will find that life becomes much better than you ever expected. To achieve this, you must recognize yourself as nothing. This doesn't mean devaluing yourself. It means letting go of all labels, roles, and attachments. Do not see yourself as anything specific, and remember that in truth, nothing needs to be done. This realization is the gateway to true happiness, a happiness that is full and unshakable. When the mind is empty of expectations, fears, and judgments, happiness naturally arises. It is the default state of your being. When doubt, anger, or fear arises, do not engage with them. Shift your focus immediately. These emotions and thoughts are not who you are. They are temporary and have no true power unless you grant it to them. Do not allow them to take root, and do not let your thoughts grow larger than yourself. Thoughts often masquerade as important or urgent, but they are neither. They are not your friends. They seek to confuse, mislead, and entangle you in a cycle of unnecessary reactions. Even seemingly good thoughts can be traps, keeping you attached to the mind's constructs. Instead, transcend them all. Your true joy and bliss are found not in thoughts, but in the freedom from them. Meditation does not require a special time or place. You can meditate while driving, while working, or while listening to music. Meditation is simply awareness of who you truly are. It is the act of recognizing that everything else, the worries, the fears, the desires, the judgments, is a projection of your mind. This entire universe is, in essence, an optical illusion. Life is like a movie. When you watch a film, you see characters and events that seem real, but you know they are not. When you catch yourself getting absorbed in the drama of life, remind yourself, it's just a movie. That same perspective can liberate you from the illusions of reality. Life is not about taking sides, being for or against something, or constantly reacting to external events. It's about observing. Simply observe what happens around you without judgment, without attachment. This doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop being controlled by what you see. When you can observe life without reaction, you become free. This freedom is not apathy. It is clarity. You begin to see the truth of things as they are, not as your mind interprets them to be. In this state of freedom, you realize that the peace you've been searching for has always been within you. The constant noise of the world no longer distracts you because your inner stillness is more powerful. You become aware that all struggles stem from resistance to what is. The moment you let go of that resistance, the struggles vanish. You no longer feel the need to fix, change, or improve anything outside yourself. Instead, you simply exist in harmony with the flow of life. This understanding does not require years of study or complex spiritual practices. It requires a simple shift in perspective. Every moment is an opportunity to practice awareness. When you find yourself getting lost in thoughts, gently return to the present moment. Notice your breath, the sensations in your body, or the stillness around you. This act of returning grounds you in reality and reminds you of your true nature. Ultimately, the path to peace is not about adding more to your life, but about subtracting. Subtract the noise of the mind, the attachments to outcomes, and the endless need to react. When all of this is stripped away, what remains is pure consciousness, pure peace. And in that state, you are no longer bound by the illusions of the world. You are free to live, to love, and to experience life as it truly is. This is the essence of enlightenment: to see, to observe, and to be, without ever being consumed by what you see. If you are what you are seeking, then the answer is always within you and never in the external world. The external world is not a separate reality. It is an emanation of your own mind, shaped by your thoughts, perceptions, and imagination. Everything you experience outside of yourself is a reflection of what lies within. If this world is a creation of your own mind, the only way to truly awaken is through silence. Not through analyzing facts, categorizing what is good and what is bad, or endlessly debating concepts, but through the simplicity of silence. It is in this silence that you begin to abandon everything. Concepts, wounds, dogmas, and identities. Let them fall away, not all at once, but continually, day by day. The greatest truth lies not in accumulation, but in exclusion. Empty yourself completely of ideas, feelings, judgments, and attachments. The mind craves fullness, constantly wanting to cling to something, but true freedom comes from being empty. When you are totally empty, there is nothing more you need to do. There is no urge to refill yourself, because emptiness reveals the self, the real self, which has always been there beneath the noise. This realization is not something external to you. It is your true nature, and it has always been waiting to be uncovered. Even as you hear this, your mind might still be working, thinking, judging, drawing conclusions, and attempting to solve life's perceived problems. But the key is to let go completely, not partially or conditionally, but absolutely. This means releasing all attachments to the body, the mind, the roles you play, and even the identity of the actor in your life's story. When you do this, you do not become a hollow or lifeless being. On the contrary, you become lighter, freer, and infinitely more alive. If you listen to this deeply, you'll find that everything you're doing right now, every task, every interaction, feels lighter and more joyful than ever before. Why? Because you'll understand that none of it truly matters, and you'll see that there's no individual you really doing anything at all. Imagine for a moment if pain were completely eliminated, if you were to recognize yourself as the perfect and immutable self. In this state, nothing else exists. Nothing else has ever existed, and nothing else will ever exist. There is only one I, and that I is you. It is not the personal I that identifies with a body, name, or story, but the universal I, the pure consciousness that underlies everything. Rejoice in this truth, because it is profound. There is only one consciousness, one essence, one reality, and you are it. This realization isn't achieved through doing, but through undoing. Begin to quiet yourself. Begin to recognize your divine nature. You do this not by searching or striving, but by being still. Silence is the quickest, most direct path to realization. It requires no tools, no techniques, no external validation. It simply asks you to stop, to let go, and to observe. When you follow the personal I back to its source, you see that it dissolves into the universal I. What remains is not the ego or the mind, but the pure awareness that has always been present. This awareness is unchanging, eternal, and completely independent of the dramas of life. It doesn't matter what roles you've played or what stories you've told yourself. All of that falls away, leaving only the truth of your being. You may fear this emptiness at first, thinking it might leave you lost or disconnected, but the opposite is true. In the emptiness, you find fullness. In the silence, you discover clarity. In letting go of the self, you realize that the self you were holding onto was never real to begin with. The personal I is just a collection of thoughts, habits, and memories. It is not who you are. Who you are is consciousness itself, the source of all existence. As you embrace this realization, you begin to see life differently. You no longer feel the need to control everything or resist what is happening. Instead, you flow with life, recognizing that everything is as it should be. The need to react, to judge, to fix things falls away. What remains is a deep peace and an unshakable joy. This is the essence of awakening, the recognition that you are not separate from the universe, but are the universe itself. There is no boundary between you and the whole. When you quiet the noise of the mind, this truth becomes self-evident. You don't need to analyze or debate it. You simply experience it. And in that experience, you find the ultimate freedom, the freedom of being what you truly are. Silence is the door. Step through it, and you will see that there was never anything to find because you were already home. Don't abandon your thoughts. Instead, abandon your attachment to the mind and its incessant activity. Abandon everything that anchors you to the illusions it creates. The most powerful response to any situation is no response at all. Every time a thought or feeling arises, it triggers a reaction almost automatically, a habitual cycle most people don't even realize they're caught in. This reactionary way of living places you entirely at the mercy of your thoughts and emotions, as if operating on autopilot without any real control. When you focus your energy on the so-called future, your attention is consumed by it. This misplaced focus feeds a cascade of unnecessary thoughts, creating endless imagined scenarios and false solutions. It's pure delusion. Ironically, those who accuse others of being delusional are often the ones most trapped in the false reality their own mind constructs. These mind attacks can cause significant pain and distress, but transcending them is simpler than you might think, though it does require courage and persistence. The key is to not react to anything. Let go of the compulsion to respond, and you'll discover that non-reaction is the most effective way to transcend the patterns of the mind. Trust in your being and relinquish all effort to control outcomes. Awareness is the key. Awareness is a healing force imbued with unconditional love. By aligning consciously with your true self and refraining from reacting to anything external, you allow both your body and mind to begin their natural process of healing. Simply observe your thoughts and emotions without identifying with them. Let them arise and pass away as clouds drift across the sky without attaching to them or letting them define you. This practice directs healing energy toward unresolved feelings and allows them to dissolve naturally. At first, this may feel unnatural or even difficult, as the ego and its programming resist losing control. You may experience discomfort in the body, but this is only temporary. As you continue to practice non-reaction, you will realize a profound truth. You are neither your body nor your mind. The more you refrain from reacting, the more you come to understand that you were never truly in control of what was happening anyway. Thoughts arise spontaneously within consciousness, and emotions ebb and flow without your intervention. Life itself is a seamless flow, always in motion. Resistance to this flow is what creates suffering. Instead of trying to solve life's perceived problems, step back and observe. By not reacting, you reclaim your energy from distractions and attachments that do not serve your highest self. Just be. Sit within yourself and allow the storms of life to come, because they will always pass. Everything in life is impermanent, thoughts, feelings, circumstances. But you, as pure awareness or God consciousness, are eternal. You are the still unchanging presence in which all things arise and dissolve. Recognize this, and the weight of external challenges will begin to lift. Shift your focus to this deep awareness. Become conscious of the objects within awareness, your thoughts, emotions, and sensations, but don't identify with them. These objects come and go, but your awareness remains constant, untouched by what passes through it. Stay rooted in this awareness. This is where you find true peace, boundlessness, and freedom. You are not a victim of experiences. You are the observer of them. Everything that happens is merely happening within your consciousness. You embody all things, but nothing can define you. You are the essence of love itself, like space that remains unchanged by the objects moving within it. Love and peace are not something you need to seek. They are already what you are. Let go of the need to place belief in yourself, whether in the form of conviction or doubt. Both are limitations created by the mind. Instead, know yourself fully and without hesitation. This self-knowing transcends thoughts, beliefs, and identities. It is a quiet, undeniable truth that reveals itself when you release all attempts to grasp or control life. Through this practice, you will find that the storms you once feared no longer hold any power over you. Your reactions, once automatic, dissolve. What remains is clarity, freedom, and a profound sense of presence. This is the essence of who you are, the stillness, the awareness, the love that never fades. What are your thoughts on the content above? Feel free to share them with us in the comments section below. We want to sincerely thank you for taking the time to watch the video in its entirety. If you're interested in exploring more topics on spirituality, inner transformation, or mind philosophy, don't forget to subscribe to the Top Hidden Knowledge channel for more content on wisdom, spirituality, and personal growth. Or if you have time, check out other videos on this channel. Until next time.